Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 212. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding show in store for you. Today's show is going to be a little bit different. We're going to split the show into two different segments. Now, the first segment, I'm going to be answering 5 questions from 5 BEB family members about entrepreneurship and business. Several days ago, I put some social media posts out there titled 10 Questions for Jay Jones. So we're going to do 5 this week and we'll do 5 next week. Now, the next segment of the show is going to be our regular show, and the show topic is, are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. Now, this is going to be a little bit different also because it's more rhetorical. Once again, are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. So let's start off with the 5 questions from BEB family members. First question is from Full-Blooded Warrior. I'd like to know, what are some of your favorite passive income business models? Great question, Full-Blooded Warrior. And you know I'm all for passive income. Now, any of you who listen to the show for any long period of time know that I love e-commerce. So that's one of my passive income streams or passive income business models. E-commerce, I think, is great because the 2 largest barriers that most people have in starting businesses are, number 1, time, and number 2, money, not necessarily in that order. So with an e-commerce business, you can start the business part-time, even if you have a full-time job. And in terms of monies to start the business, it's a low barrier to entry. So I've had coaching students start businesses for $300-$400, and now I'm making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month. And it's a passive income business model. Once you set it and you get your marketing down, you can actually set it and forget it, as they say. Now, you still have to do a little bit of work, but in terms of passive, it's damn near completely passive after a while. One of my other business models I like is real estate investing. I'm not talking about wholesaling. I'm talking about buying and holding and renting out properties. So the benefit I love about that in terms of real estate is not only are you making a passive income, but hopefully your properties are growing in equity, meaning you're paying down your mortgage and the value of your property is increasing. So not only do you get that monthly passive income flow from the rents that you're collecting, but hopefully you'll gain equity in your properties as the property values continue to grow. And the third thing I like to look at in terms of a passive business model is securities investing, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. So you guys know in a past life, I used to be a stockbroker for Merrill Lynch. So I'm still in the market. And once again, none of these 3 things that I mentioned here or business models that I mentioned are guaranteed, be it investing in stocks and securities, real estate investing, and even e-commerce. So once again, there is some risk to each thing that you do. But Full-Blooded Warrior, those are the 3 passive income business models that I like. So hopefully that answered your question. Next, we go to question number 2 from Joshua Robinson. He says, I'm in the process of developing an app. There are 2 co-founders, and we brought in an app developer to have a piece of equity. Number 1, founding partner came up with the idea. 2, co-founder solidified the startup name and will provide business development and marketing of the app. 3, the third partner will develop the app and provide business acumen where needed. What would be a fair equity split between 3 partners? I've read pros and cons of an even What's your take of an even split? What's your take? Joshua, great question. I've talked about partnerships on the show before. So if you go back and listen to some of my previous episodes, I've partnered with one of my best friends. He's like my brother. And it worked a couple of times. We had several businesses together. And then sometimes it didn't work. So you have to be very careful about who you partner with. Now, when you're in the beginning stages of this business, the business really is not worth anything. So we have a tendency a lot of times to give away equity as opposed to investing cash. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of your business, but the third partner who's developing the app, that could be somebody that you could just hire. So you have to always make sure that you don't give up too much equity in the beginning, because once again, you're looking at it right now, your business isn't worth anything. But if it pops and your business becomes very successful, you're going to say to yourself, man, I gave an app developer, somebody or some person that I could have paid to do that work. I gave him 33 and a third, him or her 33 and a third % of our business. So here's what I would look at, to be quite honest. If you don't have the cash to buy or hire an app developer, I would look at something like 40, 40, and 20. Co-founder and founder get 40%, and the app developer gets 20%. Because you were saying here, the third partner will develop the app and provide business acumen where needed. Business acumen, I don't know exactly what that means. But once again, an app developer, you can rent an app developer. That's what I would say to you. So be careful about the equity that person gets. Because once again, we have a tendency to give away equity when the business is worth absolutely nothing right at this point in time. So just be careful about that. And if you do have to give away equity, I would look 40, 40, 20, something like that, where you two founders get more equity than the developer who can be easily replaced. All right, Josh, I hope that answers your question. Question number 3 from Stay Woke Shy 85. All right. What advice would you give someone looking to become an entrepreneur but still not sure what industry/business they should enter into? Should you immediately pursue financial liberation or pursue your passion? Stay Woke Shy 85. That's a heck of a question, man. And I think that's a very common question for most people that are looking to make that transition from employee to entrepreneur. Here's what I would say. In the perfect world, and I talk about this episode, I believe 199, pinpoint and monetize your genius, which is the intersection. Your genius is the intersection between your passion and your talent. So if you're able to do that, then you've taken care of financial liberation and also your passion. That's in a perfect world. Now, most times it's going to take people a while to figure that out and get it right. So here's what I would say. And I've had that same quandary. I'm a little different maybe than most because I enjoy the business of doing business. I'm not in love with any particular type of business. So I've owned all types of businesses, a marketing company, an alarm business. I owned a condom company, mortgage business. And my joy came from trying to build something, trying to create something. So I may be a little bit different animal than most people, but I will tell you this, Stay Woke Shy 85, when you just chase the money, a lot of times that's a dead end. Now, yeah, you may take that money and parlay it. If that's the game plan, that's something different. And I've done that before. I've gone into businesses where I really didn't want to be in the business, but I went in there, made the money, and I had a plan to parlay that money into something that I wanted to do. Once again, you're the only person that can answer it. But I would look at it like this. If there's an opportunity for you to make real good money, real fast or whatever, and then take those resources and then roll that over into something that you're passionate about, I would look to do that. But just go check out Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. Replay that episode because I give you a mind map where you put down all your passions on one side and also your talents on the other, and then you try to monetize it. Now, remember, you can sell 6 things that you can sell. You can sell your physical products, your digital products, or your services, or someone else's physical products, someone else's digital products, and somebody else's services. Those are the only 6 things you can sell. So you need to figure out how you're going to monetize. So if you're looking to monetize off of your passion, off of your genius anyway, which is the intersection of your passion and talent, you need to see if anybody else is out there monetizing the way you want to monetize. So I would tell you, start doing some research and legwork. Once again, that's the perfect answer. If you could do that. Again, if not, then it's a decision that you're going to have to make between, am I just going to chase this money and possibly make a lot of money but not be fulfilled? Or am I going to go after my passion and be fulfilled and maybe not make enough money? So bringing them together, that's the key. I'm telling you, that's the key to being fulfilled, being successful, and being happy. So stay woke, Shy 85. I hope that helps, man. If you need to connect with me, hit me on, email jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, and I'll help you in whatever way I can, give you some direction on that. But I appreciate that question, man. It was a great question. So that was question number 3. Let's roll over to question 4. All right, this is from B Roundtree. It's a long one, but I'll read the most important parts. All right, it says, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for BEB. The content you provide is influential and very thought-provoking. Very first podcast I listened to was your interview with Onay Chapman, and I was hooked from then on. Appreciate you, brother. So here's a little bit about myself. I currently live in the Philly area, and I'm from a small town a couple hours away from Chicago. Currently, I work for a company that purchased Tasty Cake, and I've been searching for a way to use my gifts and talents to help me become independent. Tasty Cake, for all of y'all that aren't in the Philly area, Tasty Cake is like a religion around here. So when I was little, lemon pies, and like in New York, y'all got Drake's or whatever y'all do up there. But in Philly, it's Tasty Cake. So a lot of your pies and cakes and crimpets and all of that, that's what Tasty Cake is. All right. Now, he says, I have a passion for youth, especially young black men. Out of the 22 years that I've been working, the only time I was truly happy is when I worked for City Year Philadelphia, the Allegheny West Foundation, and when I mentored youth at a church in Ardmore. So here's my dilemma. While I'm passionate about working with youth, I've never been sure how to monetize that passion. Don't get me wrong, I work for free, and I already have. I just don't have an idea of how to provide for my family while pursuing my God-given gift. Speaking of Onay Chapman, I considered public speaking. A few of the topics I think is useful to young men are financial literacy, learning how to deal with emotions, and how to become producers as opposed to consumers. I even started an outline of a book to get my thoughts in order. I'm not sure if you can help me formulate some ideas. That's honestly not the reason I reached out to you. I just really wanted to thank you for all the information that you're putting out. I listened to your conversation with Dr. Dennis Kimbrough twice today, and I'm ready to run through a wall. Whatever the case, please stay on the path. I've been listening to less and less sports talk radio and music and more of your podcasts for inspiration. I plan to purchase New Black Wall Street and Think and Grow Rich. Thanks for taking the time. B Roundtree, appreciate that, man. That's a great question. And once again, that goes back to being able to monetize your passion. And that's really what it's all about. But for your specific situation, there's a couple of things that I thought about. Now, if you're talking about children during the school year, obviously they're going to be in school from whatever to whatever. So they're not going to be available to you until the afternoon. And also, in the summer, that's a little bit different. I'm going to talk about two different things or a couple of different things. So number one, to be able to monetize and be able to help and guide these young men. Number one, you may want to create in the summer, like some type of summer camp program for kid entrepreneurs or something of that nature that parents will pay for, but you're going to not just let the kids run around, but you're going to enrich them in some form of fashion, be it educationally, sports, whatever, entertainment, just being able to help broaden the kids, giving them an actual place where that they can go, and the parents know that when they go there, that they're going to learn and they're going to be taken care of. So some type of summer camp program. I used to teach entrepreneurship to children over the summer. It wasn't my program, but I used to come in and do that, and I got paid for that. Now, once again, I didn't have the additional overhead and all that stuff. But if you're able to create some type of camp with the participation of the parents paying, because once again, if you got younger kids, they're paying daycare or they're going to be paying for camp. So if you can provide some type of positive service or camp, that may help you monetize in the summertime. Now, also, you can do something as an after school program. And if you create a 501c3 organization, you may be able to get some funding. Now, once again, it's tough because now you're relying on somebody else's funding. Now, something else that I thought about, too, if you still have your full-time job and you're looking to make a slow transition, one of the things that pretty big around here, and I know a couple of guys that do it, is they create educational trips for kids. So on the Saturdays and Sundays, their parents pay. They may go down to D.C. to the Black History Museum, college tours, things of that nature that parents wouldn't mind paying for because it's something that's going to benefit their kids. So that's something that you can start on the weekends. Rent out a bus, create these trips, build it slowly until you're able to transition. Once again, you got to remember the kids are only available to you full time in the summer and during the school year, obviously in the afternoons and evenings. So you're going to have to create or craft a business that focuses on that. Tutoring, obviously, there's tons of tutoring. So if you're good in certain specific areas, math, science, or whatever, you can hire tutors and you can create an atmosphere where you're not just tutoring, but it sounds like you like to impact lives by teaching them life lessons too, financial literacy, things of that nature. So you can look to do that. So you got a lot of different options, man. And I just want to say also, I commend you for wanting to spend your time and help our youth, man, because we need to give back. And once again, our youth, they're going to be the adults of the future. So I definitely commend you. Thank you so much for reaching out. And hopefully that helped a little bit. I know it wasn't specific, but without talking to you directly, I can't give you the specifics on that. All right. And last but not least, question number 5 from D-Lo. What do you think about buying a franchise versus starting your own business? Great question. I'm a proponent of franchises if the franchise is a name brand franchise and it's something that you cannot duplicate on your own. And I'll use McDonald's as the example. Now, to me, I think that their hamburgers are garbage, but they print money, right? So you're not going to be able to start your own McDonald's. You're not going to be able to compete. You may be able to start a small stand or whatever, burger stand or whatever, but buying into a McDonald's franchise, that's something that's worthwhile. I've looked at many franchise opportunities, and some of them I don't even see the purpose of buying the franchise because they don't even have a name brand. They're not even recognized. And that's really what you want. You want to have the system, the successful system in place. I'm not talking about some franchise that has one unit and now they're trying to franchise throughout the country. You want something that's a proven system. You also want something that has a name recognition to it. Because once again, if you open a franchise and nobody's heard the name of the business, what good is the name of the franchise? It's not. I'll give you another example. Rita's Water Ice here in Philadelphia. All you guys outside of the Philly area, y'all probably call water ice Italian ice. All right, it's not slushy. It ain't ice with sugar on that. It's a mixture. It's ice, but it's real crushed ice. It's like smooth, and they put flavoring in it. That was another business I had that I talked about on the show when my girls and I created a water ice stand at one of the minor league parks right outside here in Philly, baseball parks. So Rita's, I had a couple people approach me to buy Rita's franchises, and the franchise fees were ridiculous. The build out to have the actual stores were crazy. Now here in the Northeast, those stores, they're open from, I think they close around Labor Day, and so they're closed all during the winter, right? So you still have to pay rent on whatever place that you have, and your store is going to be closed down like 5 months out of the year. And what you're doing, water ice is really water that's put into a machine that's chilled and flavoring. Why am I going to pay somebody $40,000 franchise fee plus build out a store to, for $100,000, $200,000 and then have to pay rent? So to me, that doesn't make any sense. So buying a franchise, if you buy something that's reputable, has a great name, and obviously the system is really what you're buying, because you don't have to worry about thinking about how does this business work. Franchises have the systemization down to a science. And that's really what you're buying. But it all depends. Like I said, if it's not a name brand, big brand franchise that I can't duplicate, I'm not even looking at it. All right. So those were the 5 questions. D-Lo, I appreciate that question, my brother. So Hopefully you guys got something from that. Next week, we're going to be taking 5 more questions. I have probably got about 15 altogether, but I'm going to weed through and take out the best 5, and we're going to do that next week. Now, the next section of today's show, or segment of today's show, episode 212, Are You Wasting Your Life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. Now, I talk to entrepreneurs and prospective entrepreneurs all the time. And one of the things that we always talk about is that, and I've been there myself, so I'm speaking from personal experience. You know when you're doing something, your job or whatever, and you know that's really not where you're supposed to be. You're actually wasting your life doing something because you don't know how to make that transition. And that's really what it's all about. And I've been there. A lot of entrepreneurs have been there. And a lot of people listening to this podcast are probably in this position right now. So it's all a puzzle, man. I tell my kids, life is a puzzle. Everybody has their own puzzle and they have to fit their own pieces together. So I can give you, some wisdom and some guidance, but it's up to you to figure that out. So, are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. And these are rhetorical questions. So I'm not going to have answers for you, but I will expound a little bit on the actual questions. The first thing I want you to do is to write down, and I know this sounds kind of gloomy, but write down your epitaph right now. If you died today, what would your tombstone say? What would your tombstone say? See, I told my wife, and I told her this years ago, I said, when I die, what I want on my tombstone is no regrets. No regrets. And the reason I say that is because I'm a damn sure try pretty much everything I want to try in this lifetime, because I don't want to be laying on my deathbed talking about I should have done this or could have done that. So now I'm not going to make any crazy decisions about my life. Oh, yeah, I want to walk across a tightrope on the Grand Canyon. I'm not talking about crazy stuff like that. What I'm talking about, though, is pursuing your passions, doing things that you know that you were destined to do, living within your purpose and living in your genius. So that's why I said no regrets. And I've said that, for 20 years. I told her, when I die, babe, my tombstone's going to say no regrets. And I'm going to live, like I said, we only get this one chance. So I'm not going to do anything reckless, but I'm definitely going to, to live my purpose. And so here's 7 questions for you. So the first thing I want you guys to do is just write down your epitaph right now. So if you died today, some people are going to write down, damn, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I could have done that. And the reason I want you to write down that epitaph is just to picture it, something that you need to focus on. It gives you a ground point, a foundation. This is where I am today. If Jay Jones died today, is he fulfilled? Did he live a life that he wanted to live? Did he contribute? Things like that. So what would your epitaph say today? Died too soon, didn't get a chance to do what I needed to do? Guess whose fault that is? Yeah, that's yours. So are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. Question number 1, are you using your God-given gifts and talents fully? And if not, why? Are you using your God-given gifts and talents fully? And if not, why? And I can answer that question or just expound on it. I know when I was working at in the advertising business, my boss was in the whole culture of the company. After we got new management, it was totally different from the culture before. And every day I go to work, I would sit there. Number one, I was overqualified for what I was doing, meaning that I was bored to tears because it was very easy for me to do that job. I didn't have to think. It was almost on autopilot. And I knew, like, God, I know I'm not supposed to be here. Or maybe I am supposed to be here for this season. But I said, I know there's more for me out there than what I'm doing. Now, the quandary a lot of people get in is that some people just want to sit tight. All right, something will happen, something will break, I'll figure it out. And I can do that for a short period of time, but I'm more proactive. So my thing is, where do I want to be and what do I need to do to get there? And then I start that action plan. So question number 1, ask yourself, are you using your God-given gifts and talents fully? And if not, why? So you got to figure that out. And it's pretty simple. You'll know right away if you're using all your gifts and talents. And if not, then you got to figure out why you're not doing it. Is it because the money all making great money over here? So I'm going to do whatever, continue to do what I'm doing, or what? So that's question number 1. Question 2, why am I doing this? What should I be doing with my life? Why am I doing this? What should I be doing with my life? And that's a tough question. Why are you doing this? And my wife had asked me that on several occasions. Dude, what are you doing? Well, the check is good. You know, I'm making good money. We're coming out from the rubble, trying to get everything together. Yeah, but you know that's really not what you're supposed to be doing. But sometimes even I've gotten comfortable in places and not done the things that I should have done because the money was coming in. I wasn't necessarily happy, but I was comfortable and I needed a respite. So after my son passed away from brain cancer, I had my own business, and then I went back to corporate a little bit after that and then came back out for the final time. But when I was in there, I just needed a mental respite just for a minute. I was tired of grinding all the time. The stress of my son being sick was wearing on me, and I just needed a respite. And once that respite hit, okay, all right, this ain't right. You know, my wife was like, why are you doing this? What should you be doing with your life? I know this isn't what you're supposed to be doing. You're greater than that. You know, you're allowing yourself to be put into this situation or in this box, and you know you got so much more to offer. So why am I doing this? And what should I be doing with my life? All right. Question number 3. Now we're talking about, are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. Number 3, how to identify what I need to be doing? Well, you know that in your heart. Now you can do the mind mapping that I talked about and pinpoint and monetize your genius. But just like the letter I read from the brother who wants to work with kids, that's in his heart. He knows that's where he's supposed to be. But the question is, how do I identify what I need to be doing? So you want to pinpoint and monetize your genius, and the genius is the intersection between your passion and your talent. And once again, there are only 6 things you can monetize. Your physical product, your digital product, your service. Somebody else's physical product, somebody else's digital product, somebody else's services. There are only 6 things you can monetize. So you need to figure out how you can monetize that. How do you identify what you need to be doing? So once again, if you can meld your talent and your passion and monetize it, that's where you need to be. Question number 4. How can I create the passive income stream that allows me to live my truth? Once again, how can I create the passive income stream that allows me to live my truth? So one of the questions from one of the BEB family members was from Full Blooded Warrior. He asked me, I'd like to know, what are some of your favorite passive income business models, right? Now, if you own 20 rental properties and you're making $1,000 a month each off of them, that means you got $20,000 coming each month minus whatever your expenses are. So do you think you can do or live your truth if you got 20 stacks coming in each month? Yeah. So when you look at the mindset of the wealthy or very wealthy, a lot of times they're not focusing on making money daily, right? Because they have passive income streams that allow them. It could be, interest off of their investments, businesses, business ownership, whatever. Investors in businesses, not necessarily running the businesses. When you look at the ultra wealthy. And so that passive income allows you to be free to do and work on things that you're supposed to be doing. So if you want to decide, and I ask my wife all the time, I said, if we hit the Powerball, what would you do? Right. And she's like, oh, we're going on trips. I do this. I be working out. I said, yeah, I got that. But after a while, that gets old. You need to do something productive. What would it be? And she talked about volunteering with children. So if money wasn't an issue, then that's probably what she would be doing, which kind of fits into her profile because she started out as an elementary school teacher and now she's an assistant principal. So once again, question 4, how can I create passive income stream that allows me to live my truth? Once again, pinpoint and monetize your genius. That's what you need to do. All right. Question 5, who do you serve? Who do you serve? Life is about service. All right. It's not about what we can get, and all of this is about what we can give. That's where true fulfillment comes from. Service. Who do you serve? Is it children? Disenfranchised children? Is it whoever? Is it black entrepreneurs? Is it whoever it is? Identify who you want to serve, what you want to do. And it doesn't have to be, your service doesn't have to be just to one group. It could be serving multiple communities, things of that nature. So who do you serve? That's what life is about. It's about service. Who do you serve? You got to figure that out. Question 5. How do you plan on serving them? Are you going to create meals for the homeless? You're going to create a program for that? Are you going to help unemployed single mothers get back into the workforce? Are you going to work with people that just got out of prison to help them get jobs? How do you plan on serving the people that you're going to serve? What benefits or things can you provide them that are going to help them? So how do you plan to serve them? And number 7, and it's pretty simple, what fulfills your soul? What fulfills your soul? You know that. Nobody else can answer that. You know that. One of the things I always thought about, and I've always been a giver, one of the things I always thought about doing was being able to create a community center for children, not have to worry about getting funded by the city or donations and all that stuff, because that's tenuous. So when a new mayor comes in, they may change the programs or funding may get cut. Being able to be a self-sufficient community center that's going to help at-risk youth have a place to be able to eat, study, be safe, and learn things. So that was something I always wanted to do. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do it as of yet, but I really would love to do that. You look at LeBron James' school that he just started. Tremendous, man. Tremendous. And I know that's probably more fulfilling than winning 3 NBA championships when you break it all down. That's a great accomplishment on the court, but what fulfills your soul? And I'm going to tell you something right now. That's more powerful than scoring 55 points in game 7 or whatever, winning 3 titles, because that means somebody cares. That means somebody contributes. They're not just lying in their own pockets. Yeah, brother, make all that money that you can. But he's taking his resources and using it to serve and help others. So, episode 212, are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. First thing I want you to do, I'm just going to recap. Write down your epitaph. What's your tombstone say today? If you died today, I know it's gloomy, but if you died today, what does that tombstone say? Damn, I wish I would have done this. Is it going to say that? If it says that, that means you got more work to do, right? And the sooner you get headed in that direction, the better, because we don't know when our time to check out is coming. So what's your epitaph on your tombstone? Mine is no regrets. Now, I haven't accomplished everything I want to accomplish, but one thing I can say is that I damn sure tried. I decided to live for my purpose, try to live within my purpose, because it didn't make sense to me to live outside of that. So what's your epitaph? What are they going to say on your tombstone if you fell out today? And like I said, I don't mean to be gloomy or anything, but that's kind of how you have to think about it, because our time is limited. I don't care if you 20, I don't care if you 50, I don't care if you 70. Our time is limited. All right, question number 1. Are you using your God-given gifts and talents fully? And if not, why? You've been blessed with special gifts, special talents. Are you using them fully? If you're not, why aren't you doing it? What's stopping you? Is it you? All right. Number 2, why am I doing this? What should I be doing with my life? In your heart, you know what you're supposed to be doing with your life. The question is, how do you get there? And that's the biggest issue for most people. Question 3, how do I identify what I need to be doing? Well, you can use pinpoint and monetize your genius, the intersection between your passion and talent, or you can just use your gut feeling. And most people know, hey, I should be doing this. One of my best friend's wives, she loves animals. She wants to open a rescue facility for stray dogs and cats. That's her love. That's her passion. Okay. So question 4, how can I create passive income stream that allows me to live my truth? Once again, there are only 6 things you can sell. And if you can monetize that or go after the money and parlay that in the passive income, you can do that. Question 5, who do you serve? You're here to serve. We're all here to serve. Who do you serve? You need to identify who you want to serve, and it could be more than one group or more than one community. Question 6, how do you plan on serving them? What are you going to do to help enrich the people that you serve? Are you going to help them financially? Are you going to give them guidance? Are you going to give them food, clothing, shelter, whatever, education? So how do you plan on serving them? And number 7, what fulfills your soul? Only you can answer that. What fulfills your soul? So the question is, guys, are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. Once again, this show is a little bit different than our normal shows because these are rhetorical questions. I don't have the answers for you. Each person has their own answers, own set of answers. I think the biggest thing that I see, and not just in entrepreneurship, but in life in general, when people aren't fulfilled, it's usually because they're not doing what they know they were made or born to do. And if we can get closer or get to there, that'll be great. If you can get closer than where you are, that's better too. But that's the real question of life. How am I going to be able to do what I'm supposed to do and financially take care of myself, my family, or whoever that I need to take care of? Are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. So hopefully that opens your eyes a little bit and gives you some food for thought. And like I said, with that epitaph, I always talk about it, and I tell my kids, I said, man, if I die today, I've lived a good life. I've had a lot of ups and downs, but I've done a lot of things that I want to do. Things that I probably never could have imagined 10, 15, 20 years ago, because I keep trying to move forward. And I tell you guys all the time, if you're not moving forward, you're going backward. There's no such thing as standing still. So when it comes to your personal education, and I'm not talking about necessarily getting an MBA or PhD, I'm talking about educating yourself, improving your skill sets, continuing to learn. I'm a teacher, but I'm a student too. I'm a teacher by nature, but in order to teach, you have to learn. So in order to learn, you have to be a student. So you have to understand what you were put here for and try to be able to create the life or the sweet spot that you want to be in. And I had an episode about creating your own sweet spot. But really what it is everything is aligned with your purpose, your heart, your passions, and being able to live your life and work on and focus on projects and things that you want to focus on and be able to take care of yourself financially. And that's the question. That's the $100,000 question. And so these questions that I asked today, are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. These are just some thought-provoking questions that are rhetorical that maybe will help you start thinking about, man, this is what I need to do. I'm wasting my time here. I got to stay at this job right now because I need the money, and I get that. But what's your plan to move toward whatever God puts you here to do? And once you get into that space, I guarantee you, life is going to be a whole lot better. So that's today's show, guys. Are you wasting your life? 7 questions you need to ask yourself. Also, before we close out, guys, once again, I got to say it every week. Please continue to spread the word because the show is like continuing to grow. And I want to thank all the BEB family members. Please spread the word via social media, word of mouth, whatever you need to do so we can continue to get this good word out there. Also, we're going to be doing another live call-in show in September, and we're going to have another guest on during that live call-in show. I really appreciate and love the interaction with the BEB family, so keep abreast of that. Also, A New Black Wall Street, if you're interested in the book, $14.95, anewblackwallstreet.com, educatedecommerce.com if you need additional assistance building your e-commerce businesses. And also, please spread the word about besmartbyblack.com. besmartbyblack.com. It's a platform where black producers can sell to black consumers. Once again, I really just opened it up, and I'm gonna start doing a lot more promotion on it in the upcoming weeks. But besmartbyblack.com, go and upload your products over there. And once again, we're going to start really promoting that. And the tagline of that, it's a conscious decision. Be Smart by Black, it's a conscious decision, meaning you consciously need to think about where you spend your money. So I don't care if you don't go on Be Smart by Black, just support black businesses. That's all I'm saying to you guys. That's part of a new Black Wall Street's concept, supporting black businesses, creating e-commerce businesses where I could be here in Philadelphia, but I could have customers all over the world via e-commerce. So opening up this worldwide economy, we got to get at it, family. Once again, it's Jay Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. If you need to connect with me, email me at jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES at blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, Facebook Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Twitter jjones001, Instagram jjones4real, JAYJONES 4REAL, YouTube Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Got my own YouTube channel, about to drop a new video right now. So check out and please subscribe to my YouTube channel because it's different content on there. And if you want to be included in the BEB text line for special notifications and reminders, text BEB to 555-888. BEB to 555-888. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.